Anthropology. What is it? Anthropology is the study of humans, hence its name. Anthropology deals with human culture, practices psychology, past, present, and, if you're C.M. Kozman, probably hypothetical futures as well. Anthropology was first defined in 1647 by the Bartholins as follows. Anthropology, that is to say the science that treats of man, is divided ordinarily and with reason into anatomy, which considers the body and the parts, and psychology, which stays with the soul. It pretty much lines up word for word with the modern definition. Being a science, anthropology has a lot of theories under its belt. Due to this being a school project, I have to ramble about some of them. So here you go. Evolutionism is a theory that argues that societies go through several stages of development across time. These stages go from savagery to barbarism to civilization. This theory was postulated by Chappuis de Secondat, Varon de Lapré, and de Montesquieu, also just called Montesquieu. Since good old Charlie here was already a bit popular during the Enlightenment era, it's no surprise that this theory caught on in the 19th century, which was long after his death. This theory could be considered one of the most important anthropological theories, at least to me, given that it gained popularity during a period where Europeans had successfully discovered a lot of previously uncontacted civilizations. Then there's historicism, which divides itself into two categories, the first of which is diffusionism. Diffusionism poses that cultural characteristics are diffused from culture to culture. This theory had two schools, the German school and the British school. The British school was led by Grafton Elliot Smith and it posed that all cultures were tied together by a thread of common origin, that thread being Egypt. It's the German school, led by Robert Fritz Graebner, decided to try and develop a, quote, more sophisticated historical approach to social-cultural development. This school postulated that culture traits developed in a few separate areas around the world and in turn slowly spread about, like a fungus disease in plague. Historical particularism is the other theory of historicism. This theory proposes that every culture comes from a unique development process which makes it what it is today. It was popularized by Franz Uri Boas, a German-American anthropologist, as, quote, an alternative to the worldwide theories of social-cultural development as promoted by both evolutionists and extreme diffusionists, both of which he believed were völliger Blödsinn. Next up is acculturation, which is defined by Encyclopedia Britannica as the process of change in artifacts, customs, and beliefs that result from the contact of two or more cultures. In other much simpler words, it's the acquisition of practices and beliefs that originate from a culture one is not originally from. The first ever theory of acculturation was posed by William Isaac Thomas and Florian Wilczynski in a study performed in 1918, which identified three types of acculturation: Bohemian, Philistine, and creative type. Do you think I said enough about theories? You're talking to yourself about something you don't know. Fair enough. Should I skip to the next part? I don't know, I'm literally just a person you made up solely for this project. I'll just move on then. Question 1. What is the usefulness of the anthropologist for our society nowadays? As anthropology studies humanity, I feel like it could help modern society to understand why a lot of things are the way they are, or why things happen the way they do. In a way, it's basically history too, Electric Boogaloo. This is probably just my nerdy side talking though. I don't know if anyone else would be interested in this type of stuff. Question 2. How can you use their services? Like I said previously, anthropology and its services can be used to answer questions that one might not necessarily know the answer to at first glance. It's like using math to account for how many taxes you have to pay for overstocking on watermelons. You just need the right resources, and access to the internet of course, and you can find out so much about the world. There's probably some cool poetic line I could get from all of that, but I don't know how to do poetry, so you're stuck with this now. I don't know how I can extend this further without giving myself carpal tunnel syndrome. I hope all this information is enough for me to get a passable grade.